reason everybody want to throw dirt on the Bucks. And we're not ready for people to throw dirt on us.
The zombie Bucks just went nuts today.
We're still here. We're still fighting. Don't take your foot off the gas.
He always wins the hat and t-shirt games. The guy's amazing.
Mike Evans is clicking. The defense is forcing turnovers.
Every game's important. It's a very tough defense. They'll try to finish strong.
It's a playoff atmosphere. We got to play like it.
Evans breaks a tackle. Mike Evans inside the 5.
Fight, yeah. You and I and everyone alike. If you got my back, then I got
Mariota in trouble. Ball comes out. He's able to get it back. Leonard Fournette. He's in. Touchdown Bucks. Again, the three-man pressure gets home. It's Tryon Shoyinka.
All the team when we out of field, the family.
Mariota to the throw. Pressure coming. Under base sack on Vita Vea.
Brady fires downfield. Wow, what a catch.
Go.
Lofty deep, going end zone, it is intercepted! Sean Murphy Bunting got it!
Brady throws a deep pass toward Evans, near sideline. He makes the catch to the 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown Tampa Bay. No, fire the cannon.
Look at us. We back. Just like that. It's week 18, and we're at the end of the regular season. Crazy that it's already playoff time, and it's crazy that we've been doing this every single week, and it's still so much fucking fun. I can only speak for myself. Let's see what Syl Abdul, the co-host of this show, has to say. Still fun for you to do today, bro?
Oh man, I tell you, like, this has been my favorite stream, all season. And I'm thinking for next season, I'm gonna make sure, like, I'm just devoting my Sundays to just football. Like, I was trying to do too much stuff all in one day. This is gonna be great, even more so next season.
Oh my goodness, yeah, dude. I mean, I was just giving him a little preview of what's been on my mind and all the things I've been trying to put together. And me and Syl talk all the time because I'm always producing stuff for him now. So I was like, yo, just so you get an idea of what I got coming and what my plans are for this whole Syl Nation Sports Network. He was like, okay. But we can't spill the beans on everything that we're working on. We're just going to show it to you guys when it's ready. And we also got a new setup here for the Good to Countdown just for the playoffs. And I was going to debut today, but I was like, you know what? Let's just keep it how it is. I actually was going to go back to the first background that we had, but I didn't have the Good Countdown up here. So I was like, I can't use that yet. We weren't that official. Yeah, right. Wasn't that official yet. And Money James is calling me out. It's like, it says 10:59 a.m. in the trailer, bro. We used to start that early, homie. We used to try to start that early. And then we just said, F it. We'll just start when we want to.
But the show got better. The later we started, it got better.
That's fair. You can't say no about that. And the games are starting right now, I imagine. So we'll keep our eye on those games. But yeah, as the homie says too, smash that like button for me, please, for the Good Countdown, for Syl Nation. We're just helping out the algorithm when we're getting this shit popping even more. I mean, the playoffs coming. It's gonna be a boost for all of us. I mean, there's gonna be fans who are just looking to watch something because their team is no longer in the playoffs. Well, come here. We're very biased in our teams and our picks, but we'll be upfront about that bias, and we're not going to lie to you. So thank you all for being here already. And last week, we had some crazy shit happen in the sports world, in football in general. And let me just take the music out of here because this ain't something that, well, I guess we could be joyous. Damar Hamlin is alive. He's on the way to being well. He's not out of the fight yet. He's still fighting, but he is talking to his teammates, talking on social media. I mean, he even tweeted today. He's like, there's nothing more than I want to be right now, running out that tunnel with my brothers. Amazing that he's still alive and well. So one thing we're celebrating today, they have all around the league, they're doing moments of celebration rather than a moment of silence. So everyone cheers as hard as they can before the start of the game. And then they're also recognizing, as they should, the real heroes of this week is the first responders who saved Damar Hamlin's life and who are always there waiting, you know? That's one thing, that the unsung heroes. But now we're singing their praises. We talked at length for the Cool Table on Freezing Cold Takes. Talked at length about this, but I want to get your opinion. How did it make you feel when you saw it? Did you see it? And also, like, how are you feeling now that we're kind of out of the storm?
Well, it was surreal, right? Because if people realize the timing of that, we was already dealing with the loss of Uche, and the circumstances of that, and then to see football that same night where someone has cardiac arrest, the same symptoms. Hamlin, died on the field, right? So that was just a weird night, and they literally revived him. That's why he said the first responders was so major, because they literally brought him back to life. And so to hear like the updates now, where again, his first thoughts was saying his brother's on the field, and it was a good job by the doctors reminding him, like, yo, bro, like, just be happy you're alive right now, bro. Like,
right. Who won the game? You won.
Yeah, you will. Like, don't worry about nothing else, And I never want to speak for other, for athletes and what they should do, but like Hamlin, how many times you get a second chance at life? He better just take that and just, what I'm saying, he's going to eat off that. Just be real about it.
Right.
His story is going to be, remembered for the generation to come. So I just want him to take that W. And at the same time, it's good to see the NFL and the teams. It's a violent sport, and we get it. And we still don't know what pre-existing conditions he had or what led to that. So just, I hate when people jump the gun with conclusions. But I like to just deal with what do we know, what's going on right now. And Hamlin, like I said, we're happy to hear the updates. take that W, man, and you know what I'm saying, and just quite honestly, you can live off that, you know. So
Yeah.
and we still can see football and realize, yes, there are risks. Let's be realistic about the risks. And you see the steps they keep taking, you know, but I'm just saying the Players Association and it's going to be a whole nother story, but they need to really look at, again, how are they tracking people's pre-existing conditions, how often they do physicals, because somebody dropped the ball, I feel, in this whole medical situation. There had to be something underlining with Hamlin to lead to this point. You know, I don't believe it just came, you know, you think of in other sports, you always hear about Hank Gathers, a basketball player that collapsed on the court and died. He had pre-existing conditions, but of course, sports medicine wasn't as good, you know, 30, 40 years ago, right? So that's all I'm saying. Hopefully they really look at that and, you know, prevent this from ever happening again, you know, because that was eerie, man.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And I completely agree with you. That's the one thing we haven't heard yet. And it's because we're so close to it happening. They haven't really done tests. And you can't really figure out what things are abnormal at this point, just because his body's still recovering, you know, like you said, like, dude, he died. So it takes a while for your body to just come out of that in general. Like, he had to get his lungs cleared, all this stuff. And thank God he is breathing on his own now. There's no breathing tube. That's a huge step. As we know, as a society, for what we experienced with the pandemic, like, once you get put on a ventilator, like, a lot of times it's over. It's a wrap.
That was a death sentence.
Yeah, it's a death sentence. So the fact that when I heard that he was on a breathing tube, I was like, oh man, like, geez, like, he might be he might be alive now, but like, he needs to start breathing on his own. It's the only way you can live, is if that's like one of those processes of your body's. So he is breathing on his own. Yeah. And I also believe, like you said, there's got to be some kind of underlying condition or problem, something where, you know, that's an issue, because there's no way where, like, there is the 1 in a million chance where you get hit in your chest during a certain part in your heart's rhythm, where that can happen. It's like commotio cordis, I believe is what it's called. We all heard about that. If you're on Twitter, that was even trending that very night, that phrase. And it's happened to baseball players. It's happened to hockey players before, where they get hit with a puck or a baseball. But those are moving way faster than an NFL player who is just running at you. So, yeah, there has to be, probably, most likely, unfortunately, some kind of underlying condition where that happened. And, someone had to have dropped the ball, or it's just one of those things where you can't see it unless an issue happens. Like, that happens a lot as well. Unfortunately, something has to go wrong in order for you even to notice what and you know, they can only do so much. If Damar Hamlin feels great, right? Like, oh, you feel great? All right, perfect. Like, how are you supposed to know?
Right. I mean, you think of this season too, with the whole concussion situation with Tua, Tagovailoa, and, you know, seeing how it's like, okay, wait, we gotta start taking this a little seriously, right? Like, and we already supposed to have been taking concussions seriously, but it still took, again, just that something bad happening on live television to be like, okay, we really still gotta take this even more. Like, the things they put into place to take it seriously wasn't good enough, right? It didn't prevent the Tua situation, so they gotta even take more, you know, steps now. So it's like, they gotta take this seriously, man. I mean, I get it. It's a multi-billion-dollar sport. Is, you know, is paying a lot of people. But you know, life is, you know, you look at what the life of these players are after they retire. It's more important than all this, man. I mean, you're gonna have your, you know, 15 minutes of fame, but you got to help them think about, you know, what comes after that too. So
right. And like you said, he's gonna make his off of this in general. So, like, if you're worried about money, and, like, hopefully that's not an incentive for you to keep playing. If you want to keep playing because of the love of the game, and that's like what you want to do, like, you can't tell a man that no, you know what I mean? You can only advise him to make the right decisions, and then it's on you to make the right decisions for yourself, and people just can advise you the way they want. But Leaky, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, heart problems do suck. That's why you got to keep track of yourself. I'm about to turn 30, and that's probably one of the first things I'm going to do is get my heart checked out and everything just to make sure I'm good, because I don't want anything happening in my 30s where I could have, done something preemptively to take care of that. So yeah, everyone here right now, if you're watching this now, live or afterwards on a replay, make sure you're checking yourself out and that you're not just, putting it off to the side. No, I'm fine. It's just a muscle pain. Like, you never know what could happen, and we value your presence more than anything else. So don't put any kind of like weight on it. Make the most haste and get yourself checked out, because that's important. And that's like first and foremost in this life. Like, none of this stream shit matters. None of this sports shit matters. Really, just that you're alive and well. That's the only way that we can be a part of this community is if you're here for it. And then we want you here for it, obviously. So, yeah, sorry about that, Leaky. Sorry to hear that. It's terrible. But Necron, appreciate you being out and about and listening in. Super Bro, also listening in. We appreciate you, Super Bro. No more saying go anybody for the rest of the season for Super Bro, because we just need fate to have no curses. Fate just needs to play out the way it's supposed to play out. No voodoo shit that Corey does.
Shout out to Super Bro Corey, man. You know what I'm saying? He's getting quite a presence on social media too. So shout out to Corey. Real active.
Real active. We love Super Bro Corey. Yeah, man. He's a good guy. And hey, last game of the season, I don't know if you guys even knew this, right? Kyle Rudolph has been on the Buccaneers all season. Okay. He just scored a touchdown, his first touchdown of the season. Tom Brady just threw him a post in the end zone. So it is currently Buccaneers 7-0 over the Falcons. And I usually start the show. So we started the show with Damar Hamlin. I'm glad I was able to get your take on that, because I haven't heard you talk about it in long form yet. We usually do our predictions record recap, being that the Bills-Bengals wasn't finished. And just everything that happened with Damar Hamlin, I honestly was just like, you know what? Fuck the records. Syl's already won the regular season, but I think out of like support and just to show that, like, this is bigger than football. It's bigger than records, right? I'm just happy that Damar's alive. So I feel like we all won last week. And that's why I didn't do any records. It doesn't matter. Syl is your regular season 1 winner of the Good Countdown prediction. Now, playoffs, that's a little bit different. We're going to start 0-0, and we're going to be able to make these predictions, and I'm going to be on my fucking A game, because I'm going to be checking the injury report every fucking day, dude. I'm going to be on my shits, and it's going to be a good time. So thank you, everyone, for being here for the send-off into the playoff picture.
It's going to be an awesome play. Like, the first round of playoffs is probably my favorite weekend of football. Like, every year now, really. Like,
really is.
The wild card round is ridiculous, man. So, I can't wait.
It's like the first couple of days of the March Madness tournament, There's so much shit going on, and everyone's fate's getting decided.
It's the high stakes, right? It's like it's the high stakes, and it's just like every game, the upsets and everything, then after that, it's like, okay, we know who's going to win the rest of the way.
Right. Then it kind of settles down, but this is the excitement. We're here for the excitement, and we got the playoff picture right now. So this is your last 3 teams in contention today. If the Packers win, they are in. If they lose, though, then we got some other scenarios playing out, and I do have the exact scenarios playing out.
Yeah, because they're all 3 of these teams going for one spot.
Right. Won the last spot in the playoffs, the 7th seed in the playoffs. 14 teams make the playoffs, 7 from each conference, and this is the last teams that are going to be able to make it. Now, a few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure I wrote off the Packers. I'm pretty sure that I said they're not going to win. There's no way that they're going to make the playoffs, but Aaron Rodgers refused to conform to that narrative. And all you got to do in this, and that's why the NFL is great, man. You just got to string wins together at the right time of the year. And they're looking great, man. They are looking great. I will say that. But with that, the Seattle Seahawks here on the left side of the screen, Geno Smith, They're currently all these teams that you see on the screen: the Seahawks, the Seahawks, I almost called them the Seahawks, the Packers, the Packers, and the Lions. Sorry, Mikey. And the Lions. All three of these teams are all 8-8, and that's why they're all able to play in for this last wild card spot. Now, Seattle can clinch a playoff berth if they win, and Green Bay loses.
Right.
Now, Green Bay just has to win. There's no other. If they win,
Green Bay controls their destiny. Yes,
and they're actually the only team that controls their destiny in this picture right here. Because the Lions, they can also make the playoffs. The Lions can make the fucking playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That's real life. This isn't a fantasy league. This is real. The Lions can actually make the playoffs if they win and Seattle loses.
Seattle gotta lose.
Yeah, those are the games we're looking at today. And who is Seattle? Seattle's playing the Rams. So they have a good chance that they're going to win.
That should be a W.
Right. That should be a W. Right. Exactly. Should be a W, providing Baker Mayfield doesn't go out for like a 50-point game again. But I think we'll talk about the Packers towards the end of prediction. They play tonight. But this is the three teams you got to watch. And I know Money James is watching the Lions for sure. And let me just Seahawks about to hack it. Yeah, go Packers.
You need Seahawks to lose money.
You put a voodoo curse. Yeah, you need that.
This is going to be one of the most exciting Lions games. Like, what about 10 years, Money James? Like, when's the last time you've been excited about the Lions? Like, this is their playoff game right here. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, the playoffs started last week, to be quite honest. So, people were being eliminated every week. So, it's playoff times, Lion. This is amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing that you guys can play in, and I think they have their head coach for the long term, man. I knew it coming into the MCDC was going to be perfect for that team. But yeah, we'll see if the curse of the lemon pepper lives on for next year. I think Tom Brady's in the spirit to get this dub and go home and get looking right. I mean, that's the one thing about football, man. The rhythm, right? You can't just sit Tom Brady this week after he had a 400-yard game for the first game this season, 3 touchdowns. He had like a 150 QBR. Like, he was crazy. He scored a rushing touchdown last week. Then you're gonna try and sit that man this week?
Well, you got to keep that routine. I mean, that's one thing that teams, they're finally starting to catch on, and that's probably one benefit of extending the season, having something to play for at the end. But the point, you got to keep that rhythm. You can't just sit out. I remember my old Colts teams with Peyton Manning. They'll win the first 13 games of the season, and then the season, and then lose the first game in the playoffs. It's like, bro, just keep that rhythm. Treat it like preseason. Get some reps in. We got to work on this series of plays real quick, and then pull them. But you got to get that work in, man. You got to still keep getting hit. You know what I mean, and being ready for the playoffs. So.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, get hit. That is a different type of feeling, and you only get to feel it once a week now, usually because of practice changes and all that. They usually don't go full speed and go full pads during the week, especially this time of year. But yeah, as Money James says, you're a good luck charm, I guess, if you pick against the Lions. Apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So guess he just decided his pick right there.
That was personal. That was personal. That Bears game. I had a long season. The Bears kept taking L's, and I took it out on the Lions. Money James. I'm sorry.
Great.
I took it out.
That was great. Don't apologize for that, bro. You have me dying. You have me dying over here. I love that.
I kind of snapped.
I love that energy, bro. I love that energy. Keep bringing it. Keep bringing that energy. So that's the NFC. Basically, Packers win. The Lions and the Seattle Seahawks playoff hopes are null and void. And that's why tonight is a big game, and that's why they flexed the Lions Packers game to a night game. And we'll get to our predictions then. But the AFC playoff picture, the Steelers are almost going to the what, dude? I thought they had what the fuck?
The greatest coach of this generation right now is
coach,
it's not Belichick, because Brady kind of disproved it. It is the man Mike Tomlin. Never had a losing season.
Oh my God, dude. Crazy that they're even in contention at this point. To me, again though, That's why I love the NFL, man, because you never know how it's going to play out until we're there, right? Until it's happening, you're like, oh, fuck, anything could happen. And the New England Patriots, actually, they can go into the playoffs two ways today. The easiest way, I shouldn't say the easiest way. They are playing the Bills, but the easiest way for them, they can control their destiny. If they win, they get in. Now, all of these teams are also 8-8, 8-8 Steelers, 8-8 Patriots, 8-8 Dolphins, which is crazy because at one point they were like 8-3 this season, and they were one of the beasts in the AFC. But they fell off, unfortunately. So if New England wins, they're in. If they lose, they can still get in. If both of these teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins, if they both lose today, Patriots still get in. Now, in order for the Dolphins to get in, the Patriots have to lose and the Dolphins have to win. So basically, it's the same thing as the Packers, except the Patriots can still lose and find themselves in the playoffs next week, providing the Steelers and the Dolphins don't win today. Yeah, it'd be a long shot, but the Steelers can make it in the playoffs if the Patriots lose and if the Dolphins lose and they win, they can make it in the playoffs, which will blow my fucking mind. Give Mike Tomlin Coach of the Year, dude. It's no debate at that point.
Yeah, no, that'd be amazing. When he went to the rookie quarterback in the first month, I believe, of the season, people was like, okay, this season's over, right?
Yeah, right.
Pick six, as we call him affectionately.
He knew what he was doing.
Hey, the kid gutted it out against the Ravens in these last couple games. He has his future quarterback. Like 1 year, like wasn't Roethlisberger there last year?
Yeah.
So he already got his new franchise quarterback. Like, that's amazing. This doesn't happen like this, y'all. So that's good coaching. But like you said, Patriots control their own destiny. They win, they're in. Dolphins need help. Patriots lost. Steelers need everyone to lose and win. So we'll see.
Well, and it's going to be fun to watch it play out today, and it's already playing out in front of our eyes. And what's good, JT? We appreciate you being here. Obviously, one of the mainstays of the Good Countdown all season long. And Money James is going to have a little bit of a more influential role next season as well with the bets. So if you guys are into bets and sports gambling, as far as he's got NBA picks now too, Syl. So don't just think he's a one-trick pony. He does NFL and NBA, and he's got great picks for both. He's the parlay king. So next year on the Good Countdown, we'll be hearing a little bit more from Money James, so he can educate us on the sports gambling and the betting, because that's a huge industry right alongside of just sports and football in general. So we're gonna get in on that, and we're gonna learn together and hopefully make some money together betting on these games. But Leaky, that would be hilarious if the Steelers make the playoffs, honestly. But I'm cheering for the Patriots for obvious reasons. Former Patriots fans. And with that, let's not hesitate. Let's get into the picks. First game of the day, already going off today. We got the Browns versus the Steelers. Steelers at home. The Browns coming off a couple of wins with Deshaun Watson, and I'm sure that he'd like to end the season with a win. But back then, it's not illegal in a lot of states. So if it's legal in your state, then by all means, go ahead and bet, because it's legal. If it's not legal in your state, well, hey, don't bet on it. I can only advise you to do what you can do. That JT's rooting for the Steelers. That would be a boss comeback. I think, and I believe TJ Watt is playing today, unfortunately, which is the big thing. However, guess who the Browns sent home for the season? Jadeveon Clowney. They still have Myles Garrett now. But I think at home today in Pittsburgh, that home field advantage is really going to come in true for them with all the Yinzers out there. And like I said, they have to win, and then they have to wait. But the first thing you have to do as far as you making the playoffs, you got to win. It's a must-win game. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. It's not going to start today. I got the Steelers. Who do you have in Pittsburgh today? It's going on right now.
Oh, yeah, division rivalry, right? So that's one thing. Deshaun Watson getting his legs up under him. And again, it's going to be fascinating to see this team next season, you know, the Browns. Because I still think they need more weapons. And I think his offensive line's kind of banged up this game too. But, you know, we'll see. At home with the Steelers, again, just this wave. We said this, like 2 months ago. It's like, don't count the Steelers. They're still going to at least spoil some people's seasons, you know, before the season's over. Now they have a shot to actually make the playoffs, which is crazy. But, yeah, I think they have some good mojo going with Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett. I think TJ Watt's playing. I'm not sure if he's ruled out, but I'm going with the home team. I think they're going to give themselves the best chance. They have long odds to make the playoffs, right? They got to, again, win, and then Patriots and Dolphins got to lose. So that's a lot of help that you need, but to just have a winning record, I think, would be kind of like a W just for them. So that's I'm picking the Steelers.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Obviously, like I'm sure Mike Tomlin kind of coached them too and was like, "Hey, don't worry about the playoffs right now. Let's just get this win, and fate will play out however it plays out." But yeah, let's get to the playoffs. Steelers, that'd be cool to see. At least win, so you have a chance. But it's all decided right now at 1:00 today. All the teams that really matter as far as the AFC goes are playing now. And we don't have to wait. We have to wait till later on today to see how the NFC plays out. But the next game on the schedule, another little division rivalry. That's the Bengals versus the Ravens. Now you see Tyler Huntley here. I don't even know if he's playing today, to be quite honest. He did have an issue all week where he was kind of limited in practice. And I had to write Anthony Brown is the third string quarterback. We may see Anthony Brown out there on the field for the Ravens. They still haven't paid Lamar. He's got, I guess, a little bit of a bum knee, but why would he go out on the field and risk himself if they're not going to pay the man? Like, he could have a career-ending injury, possibly. God forbid. Let me knock on wood. But and you don't have him paid. Why would he do that? Why would he risk it? The thing that it sucks is that the Ravens were clicking on all cylinders, it seemed, and getting back into playoff form right before he got hurt. I mean, you see the 10 wins there. That's all Lamar Jackson. And they're in the playoffs already. Well, what are they going to do when they get to the playoffs? Is Lamar even going to play? I don't know. Now, the Bengals, they played in that game with the Bills, where unfortunately Damar Hamlin went down. They're fresher than we think, and I think they're ready to put some hits in today and get ready for the postseason. So I think they get the win at home just because the Ravens, what are you doing as a team, as an organization? And you could hear it in John Harbaugh's voice, just in his pressers, where he's like, yeah, I'm just going to take care of the team and see what the people who are here right now, see what goes on. But so for that very reason, the Bengals, it might stay in it today, but I think ultimately at the end of the game, the Bengals pull away and win by at least 2 scores. Who do you have today in Cincinnati, Ravens versus the Bengals?
Yeah, well, with the Bengals, again, obviously we know the serious nature, again, the Damar Hamlin situation, and the decision they made, just as far as how the NFL kind of settled that situation as far as record-wise and stuff like that for the playoffs. Bengals got the short end of the stick, right? All that considered. Kind of sucks because I think the Bengals was going to beat the Bills that night and was going to have a chance at that top seed as well, too. But the way it looks now, they're kind of locked in at the 3 spot. So I think they're going to get their reps in, like we're saying with other teams, and then pull them. But I think the Ravens are just so bad offensively, whether Huntley plays or not. I think the Bengals are actually going to just, win one for the home crowd, to close out the season. So, Bengals are kind of locked in. Ravens, they're the first round fodder for somebody in the playoffs. Because if I'm Lamar, I would not come back this season at all. Yeah. I would not come back at all, man. I don't care if they're mad. And so the Bengals just get, this is playoff practice. So yeah, going to Bengals.
Playoff practice is a good way to put this week for a lot of teams, actually. And that's kind of what the Chiefs were yesterday. The Chiefs did clinch the number 1 seed yesterday. Should have mentioned that at the beginning of the show. Syl's dark horse for the AFC South. The Jaguars won the AFC South. Let's fucking go, Syl. What a prediction right there that homie had. And when I put together the season recap, that's going to be the first video I look for. Is the first time that he said that the Jags were his dark horse for the division. And I'm going to put it up there like, yo, this is week 4 or week 5 or whatever fucking week it was. But he called that months in advance, dude.
Or just looking at the division, I was like, with the coaching change, it was a new coach in there. I was like, if Trevor Lawrence had to take that next step, it didn't look like it in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
But when he did, the defense is there. They're going to be better next season with Calvin Ridley. It's going to get nuts, man. It's going to get nuts for them.
Man.
But for Jags, seeing them win, clinch that last night, it was pretty awesome. And, hey, I look at overall, that one was for Uche, man. The Jaguars did it for Uche. So that was really cool.
Absolutely.
Really cool. They took that home.
Hell yeah. Yeah. And the homie Uche was calling that earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
He in like December 22nd, he tweeted out. He's like, yo, they're winning in the division. Jags are winning the division.
Now
he's like, hashtag Duval.
To be fair, I called it before December 22nd.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it out there.
He did.
It was before
hilarious.
Thanksgiving. I said that. First month of the season. I was like,
this
is
fall.
my pick.
Right, yeah. It was still fall. It was before November, bro. Like, that shit was crazy. But yeah, you did call, and I'm looking for that clip because man, they won the AFC South yesterday, man. Can't hate on that. But
it's cool.
Some
it's cool
team,
seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very eager to see how this next pick goes because last week we got a very emphatic pick from the homie. Now that is the Vikings. And sorry, Justin Jefferson, I didn't fucking edit this. I'm just noticing that. Let me get a comment over there so you can't see his legs, but. The Vikings who are 12-4, the 3-13 Bears. Justin Fields isn't even playing this week, dude. As far as I know, and that's what I heard earlier in the week. Could have changed, but I heard that he wasn't playing. Yeah. Vikings get the win, bro. They're gonna just go into the postseason. But I want to hear what you got. Vikings versus the Bears today. What's gonna happen? So
it's the final one, right? Final game for the Bears at the crib. Hey, Vikings, they've been kind of paper champions all year, right? Like they've been a little soft, like we expect them to be. Like they got real soft purple jerseys, just real, So no one fears the Vikings, right? When you get to the playoffs, though Justin Jefferson is my favorite. Well, Jamar Chase actually overtook him as my favorite receiver now. Just a news flash right there. Jamar Chase is my favorite receiver now, but Justin Jefferson's right there. Now imagine they were both on the same team in college. Ain't that crazy?
Crazy.
Right? So, but anyway, I think it was LSU, I believe. So, with Joe Burrow, right? But anyway, that's why they won the title, right? But my point here, Vikings, again, it's playoff, playoff reps, right? Playoff practice, as we say. I think the way the Vikings are slotted in now, they still, have a chance to jump up in the standings. So they're going to play to win this game, right? They can get the 2 seed possibly after tiebreakers or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they're going to play to win. You said with the Bears, the only question is Justin Fields playing? No, he's not playing. That's our entire offense. He's not playing. Bears close out the season going for that number 1 pick. That's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to get that number 1 pick because we're going to trade it and get like 10 new players for next season. So, but we win either way, y'all. Either we upset them or we lose and get a top pick. Bears win. Bears win.
Bears win, bro.
They lose
my
today,
goodness.
but they go win.
They win. Yeah. They're gonna win in the offseason, hopefully. Yeah, right. Dude, get some defense back because they just traded all the way their defense.
I've been as real as possible though with the Bears. If y'all see my way of picking, like I've been as honest as possible. Like I did not let my heart get in the way. Of these 13 L's they received, I probably picked 11 of them correctly. So I know we weren't good this year.
The only times you didn't get it correct, dude, was probably last week against the Lions, and then earlier in the season because they had won a couple. And then you're like, oh, they're gonna get the dub this weekend, and then of course they come out and just let you down. You're like, all right,
it was a Packers game. I thought we would beat the Packers while they were reeling, but
that's what it was.
It said Aaron Rodgers beats us and then goes on like a streak. I was like, okay, of course, Aaron Rodgers will use us as a launching pad for him going back to the playoffs. Okay.
Bro, I guess he still owns the Bears, bro.
Hey man, hey, we went too far. See, you crossed the line all season. You crossed the line right there, man.
Bro, I hated when he said that. I'm sorry, bro.
You crossed the line right there. That's like me going at Brady right there, man. When you
I know. I hated when he said that. My favorite thing about when he said that was Tom Brady's comment on that was like, oh, I guess Aaron Rodgers bought some ownership in the Bears or something. I mean, he must got some shares because I don't know what he's saying when he's saying he owns the Bears. And then literally someone took that clip and was like, Tom Brady's record against these teams is like, so Tom Brady owns 4 NFL teams then, if that's the case, next to like next to Aaron Rodgers' records. Like, all right, shut up, Aaron Rodgers. You're a dumbass. But anyway, yeah, don't ever say that. That's so disrespectful that he said that shit. So I just had to say it to my co-host to get my co-host a little riled up.
Low key though, because I try to keep it real, and I know we'll talk about the playoffs when we get there. But if the Packers make the playoffs, we may get a magical ride. But I won't be able to hate on it, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, the next week is the playoffs. We'll see if that starts, and next week we'll see if the Patriots are in the playoffs, because this is a big game, man. Now I really don't think they have much of a chance. The fact that the Bills are coming off the week with Damar Hamlin, they got a huge boost because Damar Hamlin is, alive and well currently and getting better. Still got a long fight to go, but man, how much of a boost that's got to bring them, I can only imagine, right? Like I can only imagine. And apparently, I just watched the Buccaneers get a turnover. What am I watching here? Chris Godwin fumbled it again. Sweet. Awesome, Chris Godwin. Literally last week, the same thing happened. Same punch out, and he fucking fumbled last week. Does the same thing this week. Got to get that fixed before the playoffs. But that's why you play your starters today, because obviously they are not firing on all cylinders like they should be. But besides the Buccaneers, my second favorite team is this Patriots team, and their defense is great, right? So that's going to be the biggest battle is like, can the defense stop the Bills offense? And then on top of that, can the Patriots produce enough offense in order to keep up with the scoring that the Bills are inevitably going to do? Like they're going to score. How much is it's basically determined on the defense, on Bill Belichick, how he prepares and all that. So with that all being said, I don't think the Patriots get the win on the road today. And I should have updated their record. My fault. They're 8-8. So they are within control of their destiny, but they're not like the Packers. Mac Jones is not Aaron Rodgers. I don't fear him at all in this game. I fear Josh Allen and the Bills because of everything they're coming off of this week. They're not going to fucking lose this game. It's literally almost impossible that they're going to lose this game. But what do you think is going to happen for this game today? Patriots versus Bills.
So I'm going to correct something I said with the Bengals. I forgot the whole percentage points things here. Bengals and Bills still want to win out because that's going to, kind of determine, the tiebreaker. So if the Bengals win, the Bills need to win to keep pace, and secure the 2 spot. But because of that unfortunate situation, if Bills make the AFC, the Bills are going to win this game. Let me get that out the way. All right, Patriots out. So the Bills are going to win that. If the Bills make the AFC championship, if they win this game and go to the AFC championship, it'll be a neutral field because of, just this unprecedented situation of playing one less game than everyone else.
Yeah.
So though the Chiefs clinched the AFC, the Bills, could make it a neutral field game if they make the AFC championship. So that's what they're playing for. Now if Bills lose and Bengals win, then they got to go to Cincinnati first, and then whatever, what happens after that. So just keep that in mind. Bengals still have something to play for. That's why they're going to win their game already. This game, the Bills have plenty to play for. because they want to avoid having to go to KFC, KC. You don't want to avoid KFC. No,
they would love to go to KFC after the game, after they win or something.
but Patriots, I don't know how they're even in this position to even have a chance at the playoffs, because I thought it's one of Belichick's worst coaching seasons I've seen him coach. Really, this has been his worst coaching season since Brady has played for him.
Yep.
I really believe that. So, hey, because I think he did a better job last season. This season, this was terrible. So, anyway, Patriots out. This is going to give, either Dolphins or Pittsburgh a chance to get in, because I think the Patriots are already out.
Yeah. And little update, the Patriots did score on their first possession to a back shoulder throw. I think it was to Jacoby Myers, back of the end zone, tiptoed it down, which is pretty crazy to see. I said they got to find out a way to score today, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop the Bills. But yeah, the Patriots are out. I believe that too. Bills win at home in Orchard Park, and it's probably one of the best atmospheres in the world right now to be in that stadium. Everyone just kind of just loving on the Damar Hamlin as they should, because man, it is a miracle that he's alive and with us. So yeah, bake your chicken, people. It's sneak fried in every blue moon. Hey, there you go. You got to get that fried chicken, James. And I think the Patriots going to get fried today. Now oh man, my edits got fucked up with this screen that I got, but I apologize for last. We're coasting into the playoffs, and everything will be better next week. But the Jets versus the Dolphins. This is kind of a big game. The Jets are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, unfortunately. Again, another one of those surprises this season, because I thought that they were going to be more of a powerhouse. Now, their quarterback controversies definitely fucked them, and losing Breece Hall earlier in the season definitely messed up the Jets' chances. The Dolphins have been floundering around now just because of their quarterback woes, the health of Tua, and all of that. Just Tua, at one point, I thought wasn't going to play again in his career just because of what we saw. And that's what, started earlier this season, was the health of the players being a concern for everybody. Now, if you put somebody out there after a concussion, it's almost like you're asking for an issue. What happened with Damar Hamlin is a 1 in a million chance. So, God forbid they try to push him back out on the field. I know that they won't, obviously, and that'll be his choice. So, that is the one positive thing about that. Now, Miami has to lose. If the Patriots lose, Miami has to lose in order for them to win. Miami also has to lose in order for the Steelers to make the playoffs. I think because of that, Miami loses today. And I think it's the Jets defense that gets them to win. And I think also Zach Wilson is going to want to show that he's not a completely inept quarterback. And he's going to want to put some good film on before the end of the year. Miami's defense kind of been slacking as of late, not as tough and fortified as they have been earlier in the season. And also part of that is injuries. They've lost some people, some of their linebackers. We got Real Talk saying, of course, he's saying Dolphins winning. But because of chance and because of fate and because I want the Steelers and the Patriots to have a chance at the playoffs, I'm going to say Dolphins lose today and they end the season on a rough note. I mean, they started on the highest of high notes. Mike McDaniels was like the coach of the year candidate and all that, and they just fell off the cliff super hard. And I think part of the issue is banking your franchise on Tua. I think Alabama saw what happens when they do that, and you got to learn from the history, man. Tua is just an injury-prone quarterback, unfortunately, because of his style of play. But with all that being said, I want to hear the man himself who got me on to Sauce Gardner this season. What do you think is going to happen, Jets versus the Dolphins today?
So say Sauce is playing, so that's that's a good spot for the Jets to be in. They got Sauce, but with the Jets, it's funny. They changed the perception of the Jets actually in one season, because last couple of years they would have died for a 7-win season, right? So it's the fact that we actually they underachieved because their defense is that good, right? And
Yep.
Breece Hall was that good before he got injured. So they have the formula for, to be a winning team. I think they have a pretty good coach, going forward in the future. You got a running game, you got defense, right? It's about that quarterback. Now, today, Joe Flacco is starting. Right? Joe Flacco starting. So for the end of the season, you know what I'm saying? Flacco started the season off pretty good, too. He was throwing it around, slinging it everywhere. So I'm just saying, I'm not counting out the Jets in this game. Now, with the Dolphins, we all know Tua's out. After Tua, all their quarterbacks are terrible, right? Bridgewater is
Thompson,
washed.
Right?
They don't have a quarterback after Tua. If somehow they figured out a way to win this game, I do believe it would be a scenario where they force Tua to play in the playoffs, right? I really believe that if it happened. But we're going to be spared of that drama. I think the Jets are going to actually win this game. Flacco is going to light it up. Last game of the season, he has nothing. It's like he's living off, off his old money playing games like this. So he's going to just let it sling and just fling it everywhere. And I think it's going to be a nice little shootout to end the season. Division game too. So the Jets want to, prevent the Dolphins from getting to the playoffs. So, I'm going with the Jets for the win. And if my picks holds, I always got the Bills beating the Patriots, Jets beating the Dolphins, Steelers winning against the Browns. They'll put the Steelers in the playoffs if my scenario goes together.
Yeah.
So Jets for this win, though.
Dude, I would love to see the Jets and the Miami Dolphins hopes today. Just because it's the Jets and it's Joe Flacco and everyone hates on Joe Flacco so much. Footsteps Flacco, though, can throw some dimes, man. He can throw some dimes. Saying. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback now.
We saw it live on we did the CafeZone. Now, no CafeZone today because NFL's all over the place today. Just enjoy the games, y'all. We'll be back. We do some watch-alongs in the playoffs with Austin or something like that. But we saw an early game this season on CafeZone where Flacco, was doing game-winning drives and throwing dimes at the end. He still got it, y'all. So I think it's gonna be another special day for him.
Okay, I also agree, man. I mean, and I just want to see Flacco do good, man, because he's an old guy, and I like the old QBs. This is part of the era that I grew up in watching football, and Flacco was always just like that guy. Like he just has no facial expression whatsoever. Could be down by 50, could be up by 50. Looks the same, like literally looks the same. And that's I love that, man. I love that stoic quarterback.
He probably had one of the best playoff runs in the AFC in our lifetime when he beat Peyton. Was it Peyton? Yeah, I think he beat Peyton.
Brady.
He beat Brady, and I think a rejuvenated Colts team. So this is after Peyton even left the Colts. So Flacco beat, when Peyton was on fire with the Broncos.
Yeah.
So it was with the reconstructed neck, he beat that Peyton, right? And then Brady. And like I say, along the way, he beat the Andrew Luck's Colts, who weren't nothing to sneeze at that time. And then he wins the Super Bowl, against John Harbaugh's 49ers when Kaepernick was, the two-way player,
just slinging it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that was an impressive run. That's why Flacco was he got money for the next generations to come because of that run. So I would love to see him just do one more send off if he retires. I don't know if he will, but
probably right. Me too, man. Just for the old heads out there, Joe Flacco, do it for us, man. Do it for us. We want to cheer for you. But yeah, this next game playing right now, this doesn't determine shit. Okay, Buccaneers can lose. They can lose today. They're still in the playoffs, but we don't want to lose. Obviously, we want to go into the playoffs on a high note.
It's the highest quality picture I've ever seen. All people, it's Brady. This is the highest quality picture Austin's ever put on the screen. That's 4K.
It's hilarious. The other one that I use for him is better, actually. I think. But yeah, I had to put it in just because
it stands out.
Dude, only because of the only picture I have for Ritter, the quarterback for the Falcons, he's got a white jersey on. So I didn't want to have a white jersey, Tom Brady, white jersey Falcon. So I got the red jersey. That was the first picture that came up. I'm like, yo, I'm losing this one. I'm losing, yeah, it's happening.
You enhanced it. You added more, to it.
Edited it a little bit.
Jersey.
The only one I actually edited, put a filter on it, shit. Nah, I didn't do that, dude. I didn't do that, bro. That's hilarious, bro.
That's awesome. It looks good, man.
Awesome. Looks good. They're playing right now, right? The Falcons, if they win, they don't get into the playoffs. They're eliminated from the playoffs. This is just a look good game for Desmond Ridder. Look good, feel good game for them at the end of the season, and try and beat Tom Brady because the last time they played, I don't know if you remember, but a lot of people put the Buccaneers win on a call, a roughing the passer call that they haven't called all season since because people made so much of a big deal about it. But we're playing to the letter of the rule. You can't hit the quarterback after he throws, and that's what happened. And that's why the flag was thrown that day. And it wasn't why the Buccaneers won because, hey, you still got to go down. You still got to score. That's
true. That's
and
true.
And they did. You can get all the calls you want in the world. If you can't put the ball in the end zone, it doesn't fucking matter. So I hate when people kind of put that on it. It's the same thing with every time Sky brings up the tuck rule, right, in that game. Or I should say Necron because he's a Raiders fan. I'm like, okay, but did Tom Brady kick the game-winning field goal in the snow, or was that Adam Vinatieri? So what the fuck are we talking about here? Who actually won that game? I don't know. I guess you didn't watch it like I did, but that's just a talk for another time. Buccaneers get the win today because they have to, as far as what I'm concerned, and get the rhythm going for the playoffs. They play next week. They don't have a bye. What do you have happening today for this Buccaneers-Falcons game?
Yeah, like we said, playoff practice, right? So they're going to get their reps in and do their thing. It was a controversial game last time they played. Mariota was in there. It wasn't like he was moving the ball up and down the field. Like, I know people like, if he would have got this stop, he should have finished 3 drives before that final play, against the Buccaneers that day. Because that's when it was time to beat the Buccaneers because they were really struggling middle of the season.
Yep.
But they didn't get it done, right? The Falcons didn't get it done. That's why they're out of the playoffs. Like I said, Buccaneers, they're trying to get their reps in because likely they'll play that faded play game against the Cowboys first round of playoffs is what I'm gunning for.
Can't wait for
Buccaneers. I called that for a month too. I said that's gonna be the first round matchup right there, and I thought the Buccaneers would lose that game. After that last game with Mike Evans and everything kind of, getting loose now, I may have a different pick in the playoffs. But we got the Buccaneers, and like I said, I think he'll end up them playing the Cowboys. First round of playoffs, that's primetime television right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I guess I didn't sound confident enough for Among James, but I'm not feeling too confident after watching, was it Myles Jarrett? He just blew up Keyshawn Vaughn in the backfield. But it's a long game to play. Tom Brady doesn't lose these type of games. But I wouldn't bet on this game with y'all money. That's funny, Manny James. Yeah. Maybe I don't blame you. It's too close. It's division. And that's what happens this time of year. Buccaneers get the win because they have to. Let's move on. Another division matchup. This game doesn't really mean anything. I guess the Saints are kind of still in the hunt for the playoffs, but they're not. They're not. They're eliminated. Yeah, let me see because you have to be 8-8 at this point in the season right now to be. They're out. Now, will the Red Rocket show up at home, or is Sam Darnold going to try and make up for his mistakes that he made last week that led to their loss? We will see. Now, I think the Red Rocket and the Saints, being the fact that they're coming off a win, being at home, they're going to have some mojo because of it being down in the Superdome. And the Panthers, albeit they looked good these last couple of games, and I think Steve Wilkes secured himself a job for next season. I think it'd be crazy to go against anybody else and go pick somebody else up besides have Steve Wilkes. It's better for a company to promote from within. We've seen that before. And it's just a business precedence, right? If you've worked there for years and years and years, you know how things are run. You know how to operate with the boss and all that and the owner. Sign Steve Wilkes to a massive contract, please, Panthers, so we don't have any fodder about the Rooney Rule or all that other bullshit. Do what's right on that front. But with all that being said, I still think the Saints defense can get that win at home today. And Andy Dalton, just don't throw 3 interceptions, and you can win this game, and you can end the season 8-9. What do you think is going to happen, though, today in Louisiana? Panthers versus Saints.
Like you said, meaningless game, right? I mean, I think the Panthers, they could again try to build on a season that again they found their new coach, partway through the season. I feel he resurrected Sam Darnold really, because Darnold was pretty much over. Now at least he has a shot, to start one more season. And it's just about just making that team, in a new coach's image. So but like I said, meaningless game. I think they're gonna start trying different rosters and stuff in this game. And Saints are at home. Why not? Red Rocket go out with a win, a rejuvenated career right there. He at least can remain some kind of backup, unlike Teddy Bridgewater, who looks washed. Red Rocket. It's an unnecessary shot at Teddy Bridgewater. Red Rocket, he can be a backup for anyone at this point. He proved it this season that he can come in and do his thing. So good for the Red Rocket.
Good for you. I also though just want to say, man, if it's halftime and you're up, don't go slapping hands with everybody like you won the game already, bro. Especially if you're playing against Tom Brady, because he's gonna come back and make you pay. I'll never forget that. I remember just watching that shit like, oh, Andy Dalton thinks he won the game. Slap hands, everybody. Slap hands. Like, okay. Wait till the end of this game, Andy. Wait till I'm glad it turned out the way. Yeah, it did. I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? Fucking Andy Dalton, Red Rocket having ass. But anyways, next game on the slate, battle of the worst fucking. This is the most irrelevant game all day, bro. They should have just canceled this game. Unfortunately, they had to cancel the Bills-Bengals game. We would have actually wanted to watch that shit. Instead of this, dude, terrible teams, right? I called the Texans getting their second win. I'm gonna call the Texans getting their third win this today, and it's gonna be a little bit of a debacle when it comes to the picks next year. Now, I don't think they're playing for picks. Lovie Smith doesn't do that, okay? And if he can get a win, it probably should, right? Probably should. If he can get a win against a division rival on the road, he's gonna love to do it. Now, I will say I don't think Nick Foles is starting today. I believe it's Sam Ehlinger again, the backup, the rookie QB. And with that being said, that's why I think the Texans get the win, because of Lovie Smith and his defense, and what they have to offer for the Houston Texans as far as this Colts team. With all year, it's just, what are you? I mean, I know we said the replacements earlier today, and that's literally what they looked like all season. They looked like the replacements going against actual professional teams. I need the Colts to be a real franchise next year. Not this bullshit with Carson Wentz. Not this bullshit that we had all season with Thrash Ryan, and then we're not Thrash Ryan, and then we're back to Thrash Ryan. Like, pick a fucking quarterback, make sure he's not 35 and older, and let's fucking ride with him, because that is your issue. We have Phillip Rivers, and then we go to Carson Wentz, who might as well just been a younger version of Phillip Rivers. It's just, you made some awful decisions because you've been banking your entire season on one player rather than trying to build another core group of guys like you had with Peyton Manning. Now, Peyton Manning wasn't the only good guy on that team when they made runs. And you know that firsthand, man. They had a great group of vets.
And defense. People don't remember
defense. Dude, Dwight Freeney, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And so with that being said, I need the Colts to be better next year. I'm just saying that as an NFL fan. I'm not even a Colts fan, but I just like when they're good because it's good for the league because they are a marquee franchise. But like I said, I think the Texans get that upset on the road today. What do you think is going to happen at Lucas Oil Stadium?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's this has been such a tough season for the Colts. My second home, Lucas Oil Stadium. I didn't even go to a game this season because they were just looking so bad this year. With the Colts. I'm not gonna go. It's like just the spirits are down.
Yeah, right. Heart hurts.
What I mean? Man, it used to be like in the Peyton era and like the beginning of the Andrew Luck era, like when it's Sunday, like just the streets are buzzing around the arena and you got all these sports bars and everyone's just you see blue everywhere. This season it's like it was like a ghost town, man. Like you just kind of look like, man, like, like it's not popping.
Is this football going on right now? What the fuck?
And it's like they're like in the stadium right now. It's like just no one cared, right? It's like, oh man, this is rough. With the Texans, like you said, I mean, they've lost a lot, but they haven't been like blown out every game,
right?
Though I'm pretty sure they want the first pick, and they're a bad team. The Texans are. The Colts are just a disaster. Right, they're just a disaster. I don't see the Colts, win. Like, the home team doesn't care about them right now. Like, I think they lost money somehow this season. This is
no.
I'm going with the Texans for the win, and with that win, by virtue of the Bears getting 14 losses, the Texans will have 13 losses for the season, giving the Bears the first pick in the NFL draft, which they will trade and get like 10 players. Yeah. The Bears are going to go on a run next season. But we need the Texans to win. Let's go. Go Texans.
Go Texans. Okay. Man, I didn't think today was going to end with both of us picks in the Texans, but that's just week 18 for you, bro. That's just week 18. That's a good pick. And I enjoy the whole first p.m. slate. 1 p.m. slate is done. That is our final 1 p.m. regular season slate of the season. Thank you for being here. Now let's move on to 4 p.m. No layover games today. They're all at 4:25 actually, and I guess this is a layover game because what the Cardinals are going to do is lay down, right? They're going to this is going to be a bad game to watch if you're a Cardinals fan. If you're still a Cardinals fan, what are you doing? First of all, but JJ, the only X factor in playing video games. Yikes, bro. Yikes. True. Definitely true. The only thing that there is to watch in this game is that it is J.J. Watt's final game of his career. He has announced his retirement. His cleats have like memories from his entire career on here.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. I think that's the only thing Brock Purdy really needs to be worried about is that 9-9 coming through the middle or coming around the corner, bro. You better watch the fuck out because he's trying to sack you and sack you hard. He's going to try and put you down into the turf today to get some highlight moments for his last game. But the one I do want to say, so my pick is the Niners, obviously, but to highlight J.J. Watt and to highlight this football community, he was asked, a lot of people ask him, what's his favorite football memory? What sack, what game, what moment was it? And he said, it's none of those. It's always going to be the people. And I think that just goes to show you the type of person that J.J. Watt is, but it also goes to show you that even a Hall of Famer like him holds the same regard of this league that a fan like me does. It's like this, the people that make up this league and put in work to make it happen and give us a show every weekend, man. I always love the people who are a part of this. So yeah, much kudos to J.J. Watt. Congrats on a beautiful career. First ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Unfortunately, you had to end your career with the Cardinals and you had to end it with a loss today. What do you think is going to happen? Cardinals versus 49ers. And what are your thoughts on J.J. Watt too?
Well, yeah, because the Cardinals are terrible, right? The 49ers is going to win this game. The legend of Brock Purdy, 49ers has an outside shot of even trying to get the top seed if Eagles and I think if the Eagles lose and who's the other team?
Eagles and Vikings, yeah.
but anyway, so they have something to play for. They're going to win, right? 49ers. But as far as with J.J. Watt, future Hall of Famer, right? He was probably, I'm trying to think of like the dominant defensive players, like just in my lifetime. He probably was that guy because he was like a multi-time defensive player of the year. I saw him score touchdowns on defense, change the game with sacks. It would be cool if he gets one more sack, like the swan song. Gets one more. It could be a cheap one. He could kind of, trip Purdy's feet a little bit or something like that, clip him a little bit. Yeah. It probably won't be like a full-on sack. But if he gets a sack today, I think the whole game will stop. And like the 49ers, because they're pretty classy, unlike like the Philly fans. 49ers are pretty classy fans. I think they will stop and like actually, give him a standing ovation, and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Congrats to a wonderful career, future Hall of Famer, first ballot. It's not going to be a question because it's funny right now. Talking about Hall of Fame, we may have to cover that during the season and draft too, man. This offseason, but Hall of Fame, Freeney, if some reason is some kind of question that he's not a first ballot. I'm like, this dude was the sack master. Everyone so caught up what Peyton was doing and doing all these signals and stuff. Freeney was the guy. He's like, Peyton, just give me a touchdown on the board and I'm going to go hunting rest of the game. And that was the formula. And people just forget that, man. Freeney changed the game. So it'd be a shame if he's not first ballot, but I digress on that. J.J. Watt will be first ballot. Yeah. Because as great as Freeney was as a pass rusher, J.J. Watt, I saw him single-handedly win a playoff game by himself for the Texans, right? Just unheard of what this dude was doing on defense, like just changing the game. I think he even lined up as a tight end one time. Like J.J. Watt, he's probably he's probably the greatest defensive player in our our generation, because I really can't think of anyone that did more than him in this period of time. So great career by J.J. Watt.
I agree, man. Just an absolute force on the opposite side. And you knew when you're going to the Texans that you were going to have a problem, man. You were going to have an absolute
kept
issue.
them relevant, relevant every season. It was crazy.
And it was why when they got Deshaun Watson to begin with, like everyone was like, oh man, now they got both sides of the ball like covered for as far as captains go and players. Unfortunately, it took longer for Deshaun Watson to blossom, and he had issues, obviously, off the field that kind of derailed his career a little bit recently. But J.J. Watt never did no scummy shit like that. He's always been an upstanding person and an upstanding player in this league, and definitely a role model for many people in the years to come, too, to see how they should model their game, man. But
it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, when he gets, because I think it's a 5-year window, so in 2028, right, when he gets that jacket, because he's first ballot. This is one of the most surest defensive players that's going to get in ever. Yeah, it's going to be cool to see him. You get more flowers, for the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, dude. That gold jacket, man, it fits like no other, and I can't wait to see it on J.J. Watt. We got a little so shout out to J.J. Watt. Unfortunately, you getting that loss today. We got a little update. Bucks ATL 10-10. We got Vikings 16, Bears 0 currently.
We winning.
We winning. He's winning really. Right.
Get that first pick.
Oh man. We got Bengals 17, Ravens 0. That's a big lead already.
Ravens is a joke right now.
Yeah. Browns 7, Steelers 0. So I knew that was going to be a shootout of a game, because Deshaun Watson's not just going to lay down at the end of the season.
Yeah, this may change a lot.
They would love to send the Steelers home with a losing record for the season, and Mike Tomlin's first losing record. So that's a big game right there. Keep our eyes on that. Yeah.
Because if Deshaun gets cooking, we already know the Patriots are going to lose, but the Patriots could back into the playoffs if Dolphins lose too. So
exactly. Got to keep an eye on that game. The Dolphins are up 3-0 currently on the Jets. So not a big league, very close. And Necron chiming in. Yeah, JJ Total Beast. As a Texas resident himself, Necron definitely got to see that a lot and see the effect that J.J. Watt can have on an area.
He had one of the best sack celebrations J.J. Watt did that I've ever seen. He said it was during the time when Aaron Rodgers was doing that discount double check stuff. Like J.J. Watt, it was like a primetime game. He busted in, sacked Aaron Rodgers, right, wrapped him up. J.J. got up, looked at the crowd, did the discount double check, and then said no, he took the belt and threw it down. I was like, dang, bro. That was the best celebration I've ever seen. I was like, JJ, he won me right there. I was like, this dude got swag too, and he's the best player on the field. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, Aaron Donald's the best player." It's like, no, J.J. Watt was putting up numbers.
Yeah,
every game, just
every game, and it wasn't a game where he would just like disappear. Like, no, J.J. is gonna have his. It wasn't until he got injured, unfortunately. That just comes with the position, man. You're gonna have your bumps and bruises and your wear and tears, unfortunately. But yeah, man, J.J. Watt, congrats on a great career. I hope you have a sack today and you get to tackle Brock Purdy.
One more.
Yeah, just one more
time, or at least even half a sack. Someone, you know what I'm saying? Just hey, Purdy. See, Purdy, he's too young to realize like the significance of this. Because like, I think it was Brett Favre. You remember that they always show this play when Michael Strahan needed a sack record to kind of cap off his career, right? And Favre knew it. So he's playing against Favre. He saw Strahan coming. Favre just gave himself up.
Yeah,
and said, "Here, bro, like you know, what I'm saying, you deserve it." And so Party's not going. He's not going to realize, you know, the significance of it. But,
no respect.
I wish he would realize, like, yeah, just give him one. Give him one. It'll be a good story.
But I think though, JJ, he wouldn't want to give it to him, and he's gonna earn it either way. He's gonna earn that either way, bro.
Oh yeah. JJ, I gotta just get to him. Well, see, because Strahan got to Favre was just like, I'm just not going to scramble.
He's like, oh god,
yeah, got it, bro. You know?
Don't fucking kill me. I'll let you have it.
It was pretty cool the way it played out, and so something similar like that would be cool. But yeah, JJ wants to earn it, so that's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna earn it, I think, today. Moving on, this game could be interesting for the Cowboys fans out there. Now, Commanders mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Doesn't matter to them. They're not even playing Taylor Heineke this week. They didn't play Taylor Heineke last week when it fucking mattered most. And what did Carson Wentz do for you? Oh, he threw 3 interceptions. What were you thinking, Ron Rivera? Why do we keep? You know what? I don't think it's him. I think it's the ownership, that terrible fucking ownership of the Washington Commanders. Sell the team, Dan Snyder. Sell the fucking team, please. Or at least let somebody else run it, because that's the worst decision you possibly could have made. Sign Taylor Heineke to a long-term contract. Have him be your team. He represents that area so well, and people play for him. Carson Wentz can't even get the ball to the right person in the right jersey. So why the fuck are we playing him? Unfortunately, neither of those guys are playing. They're playing their rookie quarterback that they drafted last year today. I forget his name. I believe it starts with Sam. But with that being said, they ain't getting the win today. There's no way with a third-string quarterback you're gonna win against Dallas. Dallas gets the win. They kind of hold. They have a chance to win the NFC East somehow. Somehow that happened, right? Somehow they have a chance for that. I don't think that's going to happen, and I kind of don't want it to happen because I don't want them to have home field advantage. I want them to come to Tampa Bay and have to earn it for real. And I want next week for me and Necron to be going head-to-head in a pick. So I want the Cowboys to actually stay where they are. I wouldn't mind if they lost today, but I think they're going to win. I think Dallas gets it done, whether we like it or not, on the road today. Well, who do you have for this 4:00 game, Dallas versus Washington?
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys have, they can, in a weird way, get home field throughout if, they have to win, which I believe they will. So I'll get that out the way. The Cowboys will beat the Commanders today, but they would need Philly to lose to the Giants, and then they would need the 49ers to lose that game against the Cardinals. So unlikely, but the Cowboys, I think they'll win this game. I think, they just want to kind of stay sharp going into the playoffs. We'll talk about the Philly and everybody in a moment, but with the Commanders, yes, terrible decision by the owners. I don't think Ron Rivera is that bad of a coach to realize when your season's on the line that you go to Carson Wentz. Like it was a win or you're eliminated last week. Like that's what that game was, and you go to Wentz for that game. Now Heineke, is he the long-term answer? Is he a 10-year quarterback? He's probably not, right? But he should be your starter until you groom someone else, to be your starter. So I would still draft a quarterback if I'm them, second round. You may find a Tom Brady 4th round, right? But it's this whole thing of getting free agents, these busts like Wentz and other people, the Commanders got to stop doing that. Heineke's your guy until you train someone else up. That's what they should do going forward. But today they're going to lose. Cowboys, like I said, Cowboys still have something to play for, so they're going to win this.
Yeah. Dallas wins money. Let's go, Necron. I'll see you next week on the countdown. Hopefully, we need you for the Dallas versus Bucks game. And James says, if Dallas loses, ESPN and FS1 are about to be lit. Dak ain't that guy.
Man.
Wow, man.
It'd be the same story. I know everyone keeps saying like I still talk about like Snyderverse stuff on like Geek Topics, like because it's like this is a constant topic. These sports shows, that's like the Cowboys. Are they good or not? Are the Lakers good or not? Like it's the same topic. So I know how people feel now. I know.
Play the hits.
Talk about Snyderverse. Hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix. All right.
Hell yeah. Need it at least once in this show, bro. I'm glad you said it. Yo, that's hilarious. Yeah, Dallas, I think gets the win. A win for me today is being able to shoe in the story about Blaine Gabbert, because Blaine Gabbert is currently playing in the Buccaneers game. They decided to take Brady out, save his energy, I guess. Second and goal. There's a flag. We'll see what that happens. But quick story about Blaine Gabbert, okay? A couple weeks ago, a helicopter crashed into the ocean near Tampa Bay, right? Towards the end of the day, guess who's just out there on an afternoon stroll with his brothers on jet skis? Blaine Gabbert. And he didn't see it, but he heard a noise. Just what the fuck? And then looked across the horizon. And he said it looked like a boat had capsized. So they just started cruising over there. Come to find out, it's a helicopter that's crashed into the ocean. There's 4 on board. They're all alive. Blaine Gabbert had 2 on his jet ski. His brothers had 1 on their jet ski, and they went into shore. And then that's when I guess the National Guard and the sheriff's department finally showed up, and they were able to get the pilot out. But Blaine Gabbert, hero of the day, a couple weeks ago, saved people from a helicopter crash. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I haven't been able to talk about it, but a cool story that he was there, right time, right place. Everyone made it out alive. Everyone's okay, and they got the helicopter out of the ocean. So big win for the Tampa Bay area there. Big win for me to be seeing Blaine Gabbert being able to play, because he does a lot for the team as an unsung hero. He's always got to deal with Tom Brady's little hissy fits, and he does it with class. And I think that's why he's the unsung hero. Not enough people sing his praises on the Tampa Bay side, so I want to today. So shout out Blaine Gabbert. And to continue the 4 p.m. slate, the Seahawks got to beat the Rams today to keep in control of their destiny. I don't think Baker Mayfield plays the fun ruiner today. I don't think he has that in him. But we've seen it. We've seen Baker Mayfield take his flag and plant it in the center of the field, right? We've seen it. Now it could happen. And I always want to give credit to the 12s up there in Seattle, but they haven't been showing up. The Seattle's been losing at home consistently this season. And I don't think they do it today, though. I think the Rams, they lose and they keep their position where they are for their draft order next year. They have to draft a quarterback. Obviously, as you can see, Matt Stafford is banged up, bruised, and old, and he's not going to last an entire season. It doesn't look like anymore. He played through a lot of injuries in Detroit, and I think that was to his detriment for the longevity of his career, unfortunately. He played for a bad team for too long, and you had bad injuries while he did it. Broken ribs, broken hands, this dude played with. Broken back, this dude played with for the Lions. So that's, unfortunately, where he's at now with the Rams. I think the Seahawks win at home because they have to keep their playoff hopes alive. But I'd be interested to see Baker Mayfield steal the show today. Well, what do you think is going to happen over yonder in Seattle, Washington today? Rams versus the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks. I mean, what a season, what a story for them. Post Russell era, and like you said, with Baker Mayfield. I mean, again, like how I say, Red Rocket, made himself some money, or as a backup at least forever. Baker, he's gonna still be in this league, y'all. You gotta give people props when they put out the work. He went out there and took one of the worst rosters this season because the Rams are just banged up every week. And you got Baker getting a couple wins, so good for him. Seattle has something to play for, though, right? Seattle needs to win, and they need to hope the Lions beat the Packers later. So Seahawks needs this win. I think they will put one in for the 12s, have a winning season, and start a new era. Though there are rumblings now, they may still draft another quarterback now. Like, they're not completely sold on Geno for the next 5 years or so.
Yeah.
So Geno knows the system. He's there. If you can get like a young up-and-coming person, throw him in the mix. But they have a formula there, right? Seattle does. So Seahawks for the win, and I do believe – well, I'll wait for the Packers part, but Seahawks will give them a chance to make the playoffs. So I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's a good way to put it. And I don't think it's a bad idea for them to draft a quarterback and have him play under Geno. I mean, Geno came in as a top draft pick and didn't really play out until now, where he's seen more consistency. And I think he could teach them as far as like what not to do when you come into the league. He's got a lot of experience now. He's been with a lot of different teams. He's played with a lot of different coaching regimes and different systems. So I think that he's a good quarterback to teach a young quarterback with a lot of talent and a lot of promise. And I'm not saying anything against Geno, but obviously he was inconsistent this season, and that's why they have to look for somebody else. But we can say right now that I think Russell Gage just caught a touchdown against his former team. He did. Shout out to Russell Gage. Good for him. Catching a touchdown from Blaine Gabbert. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But let's say this, though, about the Seahawks team. And we can definitively say this via numbers for a record. The Seahawks were better without Russell Wilson. Period.
I mean, hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? And if you're going off the numbers, their offense ran better post Russell. I mean, again, not talking about Russell Wilson's career.
Right.
I'm saying the last couple seasons, he's went off a cliff as far as the offense. The offense was better this year. They did have a couple running backs. Seahawks did. One got banged up early, so they're going to have that multiple running style in the seasons to come. They got the passing game, and like I said, and wins. It's about wins, and you see the Broncos record, and you see Seattle's record. So, yeah, Pete Carroll rejuvenated. He's going to have another chapter of his coaching career now because he's showing that he could do it without his Hall of Fame quarterback. Unlike Belichick's not showing that he can do it. Well, Pete Carroll for the win.
I love it. James is like, no, not again. Pete Carroll for the win, dude. Yeah, that gum thing is never gonna get over. I'm never gonna get over Pete Carroll and his gum, dude. That's hilarious. This game, is Jalen Hurts playing? I think he is. So that's all you gotta worry about, right? Jalen Hurts has got to get back onto a roll before the playoffs start. And if they start today, the Eagles have the number 1 seed and they'll have a bye. So they'll have a week off. You know what I'm saying? So they got to roll in the playoffs full head of steam. They've been looking shaky the last couple of weeks. Obviously, they've gotten some losses. Granted, they had Gardner Minshew as their quarterback. And that's no shade against Gardner, but he's a career backup. So that's just what it is. Like we can only do what we can with what we have been given. And today I'm giving Jalen Hurts back on the squad. Eagles at home. The Giants not much to play for, and I might have gotten their record wrong there. Definitely did not up their record.
Yeah.
Give me a pass. Last week of the season, Eagles get that win today at home because the Giants got nobody. And I'm not even sure Saquon's playing today. So who do you have? Giants versus the Eagles today at 4:00.
Yeah, so with the Giants, I mean,
JT, the only Giants fan. My bad, bro. My bad, JT.
With the Giants, bro. I mean, they've been a surprise team. I mean, Saquon started the season off pretty good early, and then Daniel Jones kind of, brought them back down to the pack, right? But their defense has been solid. Giants, they have good coaching. I mean, these coaches, they find a way, no matter what they got, to try to get to the playoffs. Like, the Panthers was right there. You beat Brady last week. Panthers, got a good coach. They almost made it. The Giants and the Lions have a chance because of the coach. So what I'm saying with the Giants, they're gonna sit everybody right smartly. They're locked into their position. I think in the playoffs, so they're gonna play. Who would they play?
I believe they're
whoever
6th seed.
Yeah, so whoever kind of shuffles up on the top there, like let's say if who would they play? It'll
Vikings.
Probably be the Vikings. Yeah, and they actually could beat the Vikings because the Vikings are soft. So the Giants are going to just sit their players, wait for the Vikings, and pull off an upset first round of playoffs. Early prediction. But as far as with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, is he officially playing? I didn't get a word on that. It's all questionable.
I didn't officially get a word yet. Either JT or somebody else would have to let us know officially on that. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, either way, I think the Eagles are going to win. Giants they're not putting nobody out there. Again, I don't think Saquon's playing, so they're not taking it seriously if Saquon's not playing.
Right.
Maybe get Daniel Jones a couple reps because you're going to need it for the playoffs. White Vic. And so Eagles, with this win, they'll clinch the top spot bye week. They'll clinch the 49ers for second seed if 49ers win. So the Cowboys, it doesn't matter what they do, they're going to be stuck at that seed where they're at. So we'll go for the Eagles for the win, wrap up the NFC right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then and even JT, who's a Giants fan, he's saying, that they rest the players, and to beat the Eagles, they'd have to be all hands on deck. But he's still rooting for the win, of course. No one roots for a loss. But he can't see it happening.
Hey, y'all in though, JT, right?
Right, you're in
the playoffs. Hopefully you play those Vikings because I think you could beat them.
And he said, they can play the Vikes. But Money James, thank you. He said no Eagles update. Yeah, so it's probably a game time decision as far as Jalen Hurts goes. But I think he should play just to get couple reps, right? Just get him in the lead and go sit down because you earned it. But you still haven't played in weeks. So we need to, get some of that rust off. You want to get the rust off now when you have the chance and nothing matters and you're like locked into the playoffs. Next week, and the week after that, every single play matters, right? So you can't be fucking around. You can't be.
That's what makes it, man.
Yeah, you can't be knocking off rust in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Well, with that being said, I believe this is one of the last games. Yeah. Speaking of rust, that transition game has been fire all season. So thank you guys for being a part of it. We got the Chargers. We're at 9-6. It might be even 10-6 now. Let me see my record.
Yeah, they're 10-6.
10-6. I didn't update that. Man, I was slacking last night. I was trying to do too many things at once. You guys will see next week when the playoff show happens exactly what I was working on last night. But we have a 10-6 Chargers going against the 4-12 Broncos. Of course, I got their fucking record right. Broncos, you're going to lose at home. Chargers, you're already locked in the playoffs. They're probably going to sit a majority of their people towards the second half of the game. But again, this isn't one of those teams where you want to sit everybody because you want to have that rhythm going into the playoffs. And they play next week. So I think that they're going to start people and then sit them, little by little as the game goes on because this shouldn't be a close game. However, the Broncos have been playing people very hard when they're on the road. And that's the key thing about them being at home today is for whatever reason, they can't get it done at home. Is it too much pressure for Russ? I don't know. If they win, they have a worse draft pick going into next year. And I think Russell Wilson would love to get himself an offensive lineman in that first round. That's just me speaking for me. Because they do have threats on offense, but they can't do shit back there for quarterback. And I don't know if it'd be a good idea for Denver to go out in the first round and get a quarterback. So with that being said, I think Broncos lose at home. Chargers are rolling on high, and they're not going to stop right now. McRib, our famous McRib, man. That's just his nickname now. His ribs are all his ribs are all healed up, but that's just his name now. I think he gets a win on the road today, and they finish the season at 11-6. Who do you have? Chargers versus the Broncos today, man.
Yeah, Chargers been an interesting story. Herbert, he one of the gutsiest seasons I've seen a quarterback play because we saw it play out every week where since week 2, the Chiefs banged up his ribs, right? That's why his ribs are barbecued, right? And and then not only that, like all of his receivers got hurt, right? It was games where he didn't have his top 3 targets in the game, and this man still got 10 wins. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is a young goat in the making right here. So we'll see if he already kind of hit his ceiling though, because people a little bit too overhyped for him. It's like, oh, hold up now, like I've seen young phenoms, like we saw Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, people that really takes off. Herbert's great, good quarterback, but let's not make him like the second coming here. But so with the Chargers though, they do have to win because they're in the playoffs, but who do you want to play in the playoffs? If Chargers win, they'll make for certain they play the Jags first round, who I'm pretty sure they think they could beat the young baby Jaguars, right? So if the Chargers are smart, they'll take care of business because the Broncos suck, yes. And you want to face the Jags first round. Jags would be a nice story during the playoffs, but when it's playoffs time, it's like you either bring it or or go home. And I think the Chargers want to improve their chances for advancing by securing that playoff matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like I said, man, ride it into the playoffs. Don't sit down and coast, because nobody got momentum to go up a hill by coasting up it. So that is just my philosophy on that. Currently, it looks like the Texans are up 17-7 on the Colts. So good pick
Texas,
for us.
bro. We winning, bro. We about to get that number 1. Man, wait till the NFL draft. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do something with the good Austin here. That's going to be exciting. At least the first round or 2, because that's the most exciting pick. Because you get the absolute best players coming out of college. And that's what I like about the NFL draft. Side note is that you're getting quality players. Like, it's so many good players coming out. So you got quality stuff happening in round 2. Unlike the NBA where it's like, do we care about the second round?
Right, yeah.
I mean? NFL is exciting for the draft for at least like 3 rounds, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, and you never know who you're going to get in that for that.
Yeah, we trading that pick, Money J. That's the whole plan. Getting that first pick. You see how I win? See, this is how I win. I let y'all think something, but I'm already planning something else. Like, we want that number 1 pick. We getting 10 players in like 10 picks, and we're gonna reload in 1 season. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, dude. You got a direct line into the GM for the Bears because he needs some help, bro. They need some help. That's a good idea. I don't think he's thinking that far in advance, bro.
That's what I say with the draft. It's cool because you're seeing teams improving. You're seeing them trading picks and moving up. It's exciting to me. It's exciting, NFL draft.
I can't wait to watch it, man. And we're definitely going to cover the first and probably the second day, just to go over everything. And we can give people our own grades. And speaking of grades, this is the last week of the season. We're going to start next week, the beginning of the show off with our final grades for the teams. So watch for your A's, your F's, and your S's. Satisfactory, or do we have a surprise that you end the season as badly as you did? We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be fun. We got grades for that. We're gonna have grades for the draft. That's the best part about the NFL, man, is that we'll find shit to cover.
It's year round,
year
right?
round.
And I know people was like, well, obviously we want to cover XFL, but it's gonna be mixed with NFL stuff too. Like, we're just gonna be covering football.
There's gonna be stories, major trades.
Exactly. So we're gonna be covering that, and then, like you said, just the story behind it and everything. It's gonna be some cool stuff.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Football all season, like NFL Network. I watch it all season, for a reason. Like, it's always football season.
And that's the great part about this network is we're not affiliated with the league, so we can cover all football and not just keep it to one league. And man, these other football leagues, especially the XFL, it's gonna be like a feeder league in the future, going into the NFL. So that's why we're keeping such a close eye on it, because those are going to be the people who are trying to make their mark in the NFL, and they're going to be playing lights out, man. Everyone's vying for the next ring. It's not the XFL isn't the plateau anymore. It's not, you couldn't make the NFL, so just play down here for funsies. No, it's going to be play here so you can go up to the NFL.
Go out and ball.
Yeah.
And you'll get that call. Right?
Exactly.
So,
hey, bars.
but yeah, the next season too, I'll try to keep an eye more on like the big college games. I don't follow college football enough, but it is good to kind of get an idea of who's the top players. So, I'll try to keep a side eye on that.
Yeah. There's we were kind of just figuring things out this first season, but now that we have a good foundation, we can kind of add more stuff on top of it and figure that out. So the last game of our regular season, it all comes down to this.
Oh,
Who knew?
The game of the week.
Who knew? Who knew? The Lions versus the Packers is the ones that decides all the marbles, man. And let me not even give a prediction. Go ahead, Syl. I make all the predictions first, so you start this prediction first. Who do you have? The Detroit Lions, who are 8-8, versus the Green Bay Packers, who are 8-8. Tonight.
What an amazing! This is going to be a potential game of the year. Who would have thought this? 2 8-8 teams, NFC North rivals. I really hate both of these teams, but I try to be objectional here, right? So, with the Lions, I'm already going to tell you right now, they're great as an S. I've been surprised that they were even in contention, right? They ran off 3 or 4 straight wins, and they beat the Packers in the midst of that too.
Yeah.
And almost beat the Bills on Thanksgiving, I believe, right? So, props to, again, the coaching with the Lions. Props to Jared Goff realizing he went to a Super Bowl before and he knows how to win, I thought, right? And they got a running game. They got some good receivers. They probably add more next season, tighten things up. So Lions, this is, again, the biggest game the Lions have had in 2 decades. But you're going against Aaron Rodgers, right? You're going to Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers has his next superstar receiver, Christian Watson, came out of nowhere. And the dude is really a perfect build as a receiver. He's 6'4". He got good speed. He's working on those hands all year. Aaron Rodgers was looking at him come on, bro. All of a sudden, this kid exploded, right? And then all of a sudden, Lazard and all these other people, they're okay, we got our star now. We figured out this is our number one weapon now. And props to Aaron Rodgers. He stopped being a jerk for at least a month, right? And said, let's just play ball. Get his kid some confidence, bro. You're twice his age, bro. You got to encourage people.
Stop being a jerk.
My goodness, man. Because I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers would throw the ball off and Watson would miss it. And you see Aaron Rodgers rolling his eyes oh my God.
You suck.
It's Rod, it was your fault, Aaron. It was your fault. You know what I mean? Or he'd be trying to tell him, run this way. I hate when I see a quarterback do that. When the receiver misses it, and Rodgers do this. Why are you doing that in front of everybody, bro?
Yeah.
You don't got to do that.
What the fuck?
Pull him on the sideline, cuss him out over there. That's what Peyton used to do. He didn't do it in front of people. He pulled Reggie Wayne over. Was bro, do you want to be in the Hall of Fame or not? That's what Peyton was telling Reggie Wayne, right? So, and that's Reggie Wayne made it, right? So it's that's what I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers don't have that leadership ability, but we may actually see the birth of it. Because, he may only play 1 or 2 more seasons. So, long story short, Packers for the win. I think this was all set up for Aaron Rodgers. They win and they're in. Good year, Lions. And by virtue of this Packers win, the Seattle Seahawks will be eliminated as well, too. So, 2 S teams. They really had a good year. There's still not a good grade for the Packers overall, but they're going to make the playoffs. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to wreck I think he's going to make the playoffs very interesting. I'll definitely say that.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, there's going to be some nervous teams. If he's the worst team in there, I think they're going to be playing the 49ers. Woo! That's going to be a good first-round matchup. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, the reason why people are scared of Rodgers more specifically, too, is because of that win that they had against the Vikings a few weeks ago, man. They absolutely obliterated the Vikings, a team that is 2nd seed in the NFC currently. So, or I think they're 3rd right now. They could be 2nd. We'll see how it is. But Money James says Rodgers' ass.
What is that? Put the Bears in.
Yeah.
I was I'm putting this up for the Texans. I'm cheering for the Texans today. We want that. We're thinking beyond the division.
Yeah, beyond, bro. Yeah, that's why he's trying to play his cards right to make sure they get that first draft pick. Man,
Yeah.
I think the Packers get the win today too. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people may expect it to be. The Lions aren't just going to roll over and lay down. The issue is that the Lions aren't at home and they're not playing inside of a dome. They're going to be playing at Lambeau where it's cold as shit, and they don't have that home field advantage, man. The Packers, yeah.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. That game will be in Santa Clara, though, not Green Bay.
Yeah, for the 49ers,
the playoffs game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's going to be a whole
Yeah, that'll be different. We'll debate that next week. We don't even know how exactly the playoffs are going to look yet, just because it's not
set
completely settled in. Yeah, so we're going to do a playoff show next week. We have the Saturday games, and again, I picked the Packers here, so I can just move them off the screen, and we have no CafeZone today, so don't expect us over there. We would have been streaming right now if we had CafeZone. We would have went a lot faster. I told Syl, I said, let's just take the day off and let's send the good countdown off with a bang. Man, what a season! A lot of picks. He's playing. What is he saying?
James, I'm sad, bro.
I'm putting cases on. Oh,
Hey. You know what? It'll be a nice story if the Lions win, but I'm sorry. Rogers back in his bag, man.
Money James, we're not gonna cheer against you, but we're just saying what we think's gonna happen.
I'm trying to get
because of last week, dude.
I'm trying to get you. I ain't forgetting nothing, bro.
Fucking A, dude.
Clown me on Twitter. You know, trying to clown me on Twitter, bro.
I started tagging him and shit. I was like, oh, damn, bro. Straight up tagging Syl with this shit.
Tag me on Twitter, okay.
Bro, you can't be doing that. Yeah. We can't
get tagged on Twitter, bro.
Syl Nation can't be going at fucking Syl on Twitter, bro. Come on now. I love it, though. That's why I had to... That's why I had to quote tweet it, and I was like, I think we've born a rivalry here. This is a friendly rivalry, everyone. We don't.
But James, the only W. Hey, that was the only time I couldn't say nothing. I was like, man, he got video evidence. See, that's how you can prove me wrong.
That's how you do
video evidence,
right?
You just show clear facts, and nothing I can say, man.
Yeah,
I'm mad though.
One thing that you always say too, and one thing that Money James is be super specific, right? Let's not be vague about it. Money James was super specific about that shit. He's just like, hey, let me clip this. I got you clipped. I'm tweeting it out. I'm tagging both of your asses. I love that shit though. And hey, that's all good engagement for the good countdown. So I appreciate Money James even taking the time out to talk shit, because it's all fun and games. Especially on this side with the good countdown. We have our opinions. When it comes down to facts, we're going to hold up those facts. And we're going to give respect where it's due as well. I always try to respect these players because as we saw last week, they go out and they put their lives on the line every week just for a game that they love and to support a family that they love and be a part of a community. And that's why I love this show. I love this community that we've built around it, and we built with Syl Nation and with Syl obviously being here. Thank you for being here every week this season, and thank you for continuing to be here for the playoffs, because you could have said, oh, man, regular season was fun, but I'm done. And you're like, nah, yo, we going to the playoffs, bro.
You didn't sign me to a contract. No, but I remember when you first week of the NFL season, you was like, yo, I want to do an NFL thing. And, you didn't know I was thinking the same thing. I literally was just like, I may do like a little watch along show or something. But you was talking about doing like a countdown show. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Let's get that together, man. And I think we really built something like separate from all the geek talk and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? I think this is unique as well, just like what we're doing with Geek Talk as well, too. So this is a part of the network, man. Good, awesome, good countdown. Co-producer of Syl ABDUL podcast as well, too. So appreciate you as well, man. You've helped kind of, get ideas out there that, I kind of needed a wing person and, to figure out certain things. So, man, appreciate that. Now I just gotta figure out this basketball part. I gotta get on Sky about that.
Right. Yo,
man. Austin's killing you in this.
I
man.
can only do so much, bro. I can only do so much. I can't be a fucking NBA fan too.
Right. I think we started something though, man. And like I said, it's cool. Organic as always.
Yeah.
And it's only gonna get better. So that's cool.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate that. Hey, came a long way. Best graphic guy in the game. Thank you, Money James. Yes. I try. I came a long way from just being the ghostwriter, by the way. Whenever you
that's how I started. Right?
Yeah, right.
I come on and do hashtag like, oh, that's dope. I was like, yeah, I just thought of that. Right?
Yeah. I just like shout out to my ghostwriter. Yeah, me and Syl were the only ones, and I wasn't like, I need my credit. I was like, go ahead, Syl. Go ahead and run with that shit.
I was writing all my jokes, all my catchphrases.
I would say something to Syl, and then like the next day I'd hear it on a stream. I'd be like, this motherfucker. But hey, go ahead. You're bringing it to a bigger. Hey, obviously I know it's shit's funny, right? Like, okay,
right.
Go ahead. And I didn't need no credit because I guess I knew we had something developing, and you know. Slap my back, I slap yours, and we're gonna keep growing together, keep getting better together. So yeah, I appreciate everyone showing their diversity of interests too, and showing that we're not just one dimensional. And we may be dude bros, but we love sports as part of that. You know what I'm saying? Dude bros definitely love sports, and we know a lot about it. We've played it before. We have friends who've played. We have friends who have know people who have been a part of the NFL. I myself grew up in a town where we had an offensive lineman go to the fucking NFL two now. So my area where I come from, that just exemplifies the fact that it's a blue collar area of hard workers, because the people that we bring to the league are the biggest, hardest working guys on the field. So that's why you get this energy from me on the Good Countdown, and that's why we're gonna keep bringing this energy for the rest of the playoffs, for XFL, and then for the off season. Wait till that off season show comes too, because I've been thinking,
you're gonna have free agent signings. People getting cut, and usually when NFL people get cut, it's because it's money, but it'd be like quality players, right? So it'd be like, oh man, what team can they go to? You know what I'm saying? So NFL off season is year. NFL is year round, y'all. Yeah.
Absolutely. And part of the, my favorite thing about comic books and like that entertainment side is speculating what could possibly happen. And with football, it's the same way, right? When a team gets a new player, you're like, oh, how could this affect their offense or their defense or their team? And you get to speculate for months. And then the season comes and we get to see how close we were to our predictions and what we thought was going to happen. So yeah, off season's just coming around the corner, but before that, we get to celebrate and enjoy the playoffs and the Super Bowl. So big times, big weeks ahead. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you're subscribed. You have the notifications on. You hit the like button on this stream so we can get out to more people. We can have more people coming here and giving their predictions. And also so we can have more rivalries, so we can talk more shit to each other and keep the fun going. Because that's what I love about this community, man. We could throw shots at each other and still enjoy each other's company at the end of the day. And that's what this is all about, man. More the merrier. And we're going to go off. We both got W's to end this season because we successfully did an entire season, man.
Yeah, that's a W. Shout out to the unofficial third co-host Necron. He filled in for Thanksgiving.
Yes,
because I had to house hop. On Thanksgiving. I couldn't do no show that day. So shout out to Necron. Even though he likes the Cowboys.
And he was here too for the holiday countdown, and so Sky. We had Sky guest picking as well, and Sky has been on CafeZone as well as Necron. So yeah, the Cool Table is definitely going to be here for season 2 for the playoffs, and we're just going to keep building this thing, man. So I appreciate everyone being here, everyone contributing, everyone supporting. Just know it doesn't stop now. It only gets more intense, and we put more energy behind it, and that's when the playoffs. That's just playoff energy, baby. And we're starting with that playoff energy to start 2023. Be on the lookout for some big news coming for Syl Nation, Mikey Verse, the Cool Table. man, we're starting here with this hashtag Syl ZSJL to Netflix. Shout out to Skywalker for starting that. Trending right now as a country. Yeah, it's trending, dude.
Is it over 20K yet? Like, I mean, it
was close. It was like
this
18.
Is the trend.
Yeah, it was like 18 the last time I looked at it.
This is a new movement within the movement here, and people are catching on, man. This is really cool. Yeah,
dude. And I think the part of that too is that's just the storm before the storm, bro. They don't even know what's coming. They don't even know what's coming. You thought this hashtag and this trending shit was big, bro. We're gonna put some real batteries in some backs soon. So just stay tuned, everybody. Yeah, just stay tuned. You don't
Syl
even
Nation
know what's going. Yeah,
it's just the beginning. I swear,
anything is possible.
It's just the beginning.
All right, bro. This is the end of the good countdown regular season. Join us all next week for the playoff countdown. All right, and we'll see you there. No CafeZone today. You may see me on a little bit later on tonight maybe.
I was about to say, you football fans, keep all y'all in Syl Nation, make sure y'all subscribe, notifications, because Austin may pop on and do like a watch along, and what I'm saying, y'all can react together.
Yeah,
I may try to jump in, especially during the playoffs too. We definitely got to do some kind of reactions. Once in a while. I mean, I can't say every game, but I love when you jump on and kind of do, when you have time to do those reactions. So that's cool stuff.
Yeah, and I appreciate you shouting that out. Yeah, because that is another form of the good countdown, the good watch along, the good hour, I call it. And we're gonna keep growing as things. Like, I already have ideas for what we're gonna do for Freezing Cold Takes, because that's less of a football show, more of the Freezing Cold Takes with the cool table. So we might have to have like the good recap where we go over all the football. So we got stuff. The more you guys support, the more you show you love it and that you want it, the more it gives me energy to continue to do stuff.
Exactly.
We are talking playoffs,
man. It's about to get real, man.
It is about to get real. Shit is about to get real. So thank you guys all for being here. Super Bro, Necron, Israel, James. I know Retro was here earlier. Bad Things Thoughts. We got so many people. JT was in here. He had to peace out. I appreciate everyone being here every single week. And we're only going to keep building this shit like we said. But enjoy this end screen. I promise next week I will change it. I have it written down here. And I have this all set up. You guys see this monitor is not even on. We got some big stuff coming here. Don't you worry. We're going to be
mad scientists over here.
So thank you all. I'll see you. If not later on today, we'll see you tomorrow for the Members Mondays, Tuesday for Rogues, Wednesday for Freezing Cold Takes, and Retro is streaming her first live stream on Wednesday. So don't forget that. I have to remind you all for that. I want to see everyone there for
Retro.
Her first live stream, dude. We got to be there. And just be on the lookout. If you're not on Twitter, follow us there. Follow us on Discord, Syl's Discord. We're just starting this year, and we want you all to be a part of it. So that's why
it's gonna be a fun year, y'all.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a fun year.
If you don't see me tonight, you'll see Syl tomorrow on Members Mondays. Is anything that I missed for you as far as shouting stuff out?
I think that's everything, man. And just a side plug, I have on my Clips channel, my Syl ABDUL Clips channel. That's where I do my uploads now, like my expressos and things like that. I did upload the supposed leaked DCU slate. It's a fun video because we all know it's fake, but the video is blowing up, right? So that's really helping out the second channel. So if y'all are, subscribe to me on the podcast channel, go to that second channel as well too, and give that video some love and laugh at the fake leaks.
Yeah, that's all we could do. Or if you think people who really understand business, they think that's a real possibility, that leak right there. But we'll see with that. Only time will tell. And what time it is right now, it's time for us to go enjoy the rest of our Sundays. So Syl, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Chat, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be seeing you tomorrow. And in the words of Damar Hamlin, tell somebody you love them today. Life is definitely too short, and we appreciate everyone being a part of our lives here at the Good Countdown in the Syl Nation. So hug somebody, tell them you love them, understand that, and we'll see you all next time. Have a great Sunday, y'all.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.